Hello there, it's Karen here, also known as Crafty Little Miss K, and I am finally back at my table, doing what I love doing the best. The last time I posted a video on YouTube was way back in maybe May, early June times, about 4 months ago. And since then I've had a very busy summer with work and also going on holiday, having a significant birthday, which yeah, I decided to embrace after trying to deny it for months leading up to it. Yeah, so I am finally back now, and hopefully this will be me on a fairly regular basis. My project today, as you can see, are these lovely little gift boxes. They were inspired, and I'm just going to reach and try and find the one that inspired me. So yeah, the item came in this rather plain looking packaging, which I thought, well, that's no good. You can wrap it up in birthday paper, but or Christmas paper or whatever, but it's still not going to be looking very attractive. But I just love the way it opened, with it opening up just there and then like that. As you can see, it was something a bit delicate. I will show you what it is in a second. So I thought, right, I'm going to make my own boxes to present the present that I bought. And here we are. So I've added a belly band just to, because obviously my cardstock is thinner than the thick cardboard you get in like ordinary boxes. So I wanted to add the belly band just to make sure there's no gaping. Okay. So these are using Stampin' Up's in colours for 2019 to 2021. And we've got terracotta tile. We have got Pretty Peacock, Rococo Rose, Seaside Spray, and then finally Purple Posy. I forgot what that one was called. As you can hear by the rattle, there's something inside this one. So inside I've got the gift that I bought. All right. And it is a really pretty gift. It's a bookmark. Okay, so obviously you have the inside and this on the outside. Because of the fact it's got a little glass ball on there, I've actually made it as well so that it's like a slanting presentation, so that it doesn't bulge on the top, so you don't have that rounded bit showing. So let's just pop this all back together again. So and then the belly band just adds a little bit of prettiness, I think. So what I'm going to do, because I've got something else that I need to wrap up as well, I'm going to make it again in Rococo Rose, but with different designer paper. This one, as you can see, is like a stitched effect. And this one I'm going to be using like the script effect. So if I just bring in the packet of papers, just to show you quickly what you can get to match. So here it comes. It comes in a 6x6 bundle. Okay, so you've got the lovely gingham, and on the back of the gingham is that stitched effect. And then you've also got the script effect, and on the back of the script effect is what I would call like a chicken wire type, you know, sort of swirly type effect. So all 4 colours come in there together, so you've got 4 different choices of how you want to decorate your box. Anyway, so that's that. Also, to go with this, to make the butterfly that goes on the top, I'm using Butterfly Gala, which is a stamp from Stampin' Up as well. And these are all photopolymer, so you can see through them. As you can see, some of them are well used. Like this one, for instance, I've used a lot, and it's barely even sticky now. It keeps falling off the block, so I'm going to have to give that a wash and make sure that goes sticky again. Comes in 4 different butterfly designs on there, and some lovely sentiment as well. It also comes with a punch, so you can punch your butterflies out rather than having to cut them out. And if you're concerned that there's no body, there's the bodies here, and there's the antenna there and there. I've actually got an antenna loaded up onto a block because we're going to stamp that at the end. So another reason for using this particular stamp set is because I'm taking part in a challenge. It's on my blog. It's a blog hop, and our challenge is to take one set of stamps and use it in 3 different projects. Okay, so that's what I've done. Project 1's already been done. Unfortunately, I can't show it to you because it's already gone off to its recipient. It was a birthday card from my best friend. So this is project number 2, and then project number 3 will be coming up on a separate video. Okay, so let's get on with the measurements, shall we? So first of all, we need a piece of cardstock which measures 8 3/4 by 8 1/4. So that's that one. And then we've got a smaller piece, which is the bit that goes inside, and this is 6 1/4 by 4 3/8. The belly band to go around the outside, which actually came as part of the A4 sheet, and this is a little piece left over, is 8 1/4 by 1 1/2. Then you'll need some paper to decorate, and that is 5 1/2 by 2 3/4. and then this little tiny one is 2 7/8 by 1 3/8. And I'm just going to get one of the darker colours. In fact, I'll show you the other one. So because it's 6 by 6, it wouldn't have gone all the way around the belly band, so it's plain underneath, but it's just a nice little bit on the top there. Okay, if you can hear some bleeping, it's rubbish day today, and they're outside my house right now emptying everybody's bins outside my house. And then I've just got a piece of glimmer paper that's been punched, and that's using the Starburst punch, which measures just over 2 inches, and then a 2-inch circle. So they will be layered up like that, and then the butterfly will be put on top. I have actually got the butterfly ready to go. It's off one side drying off because it's got some Wink of Stella on it. All right, and then other than that, you just need a little 1/2 inch punch just to do the little thumb bit just there. Can you see that? Yes. I actually started filming this earlier, but there was just too much noise going on outside with all the workmen out there, and you couldn't see everything I was doing because my camera was at a funny angle. Right, so let's get going. So we'll start off by doing the scoring. So I'm just going to check, yes, you can see that. Okay, and you just need to score first of all on the long side. So this is the 8 3/4. You're scoring at 3/4 of an inch, and then at 1 1/2. And you turn it all the way around, so it's a 180-degree turn. So your score marks are over this side now, and it's 3/4 of an inch, and 1 1/2 again. Then you turn it a 1/4 turn this time, so your score lines are top and bottom. 3/4 of an inch, everything is 3/4 of an inch, and then the other one is 3 3/4 of an inch. Again, turn it 180 degrees so that your 3/4 of an inch thing is over here, and then it's 3/4 of an inch, and then 3 3/4. So that's that piece. And the only other piece you need to score is this piece, the internal part. Okay, again, just butt it up so that it's the long side at the top. So it's 3/4 of an inch, turn it round 3/4 of an inch, turn it all the way round, because you're only going to be scoring on 3 sides. If you want to create that nice little angled insert, it's just scored on 3 sides. Okay, and that's that. We'll do some more burnishing in a moment on the belly band, but I'm not actually scoring that. I'm just going to put it round it and just pinch it on to make sure it fits properly. So let's start with, and my paper's everywhere, let's start with the base. And I'm just getting my bone folder. So yes, you just would need to now just to press out and burnish all these score lines. Nice sharp creases, because it's a box, you want nice square edges. And then the other direction. Yeah, I'm quite pleased with how these turned out. Like I said, I just loved that, the packaging it came in. And sometimes you do that, don't you? You get inspired by what something comes in and you think, yeah, well, I can do better than that. Okay, so there we are, all done. So with my bigger scissors, because I'm going to do some long cuts first of all. So it doesn't matter which way you do, this way or this way, because everything is symmetrical, so it's all the same. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be losing these edges here. So it's this little square here, this panel, and that square there are going. And that will be on both sides. And I'm just going to go up to there because I want to use my little scissors for the smaller cuts. Get more control over them. Okay, swap over to my little ones. And then we're just going to wedge into there and wedge into this side. I didn't cut far enough on that one. Okay, that's that. And now what I want to do is finish off this outer edge here. So wedge again and then cut that square away completely. I might just pop my light on because it's a bit dull today. It started off nice. I could see the sun this morning, but it's obviously gone behind the clouds now. Straight up on that one. And then what we're going to do now is we're going to do that. So that's the reinforcing panels done. So now we're actually going to be doing the actual sides of the box. So you can wedge. So that's one panel. This is the one that's going to be tucking in at the front. And then here, straight up, wedge, wedge. And on this one the same. Straight up, wedge, wedge. And the same on this side. I've done quite a deep wedge here because this one is going to be tucked away underneath that double flap there. And then keep going. Okay, and then finally this one. Okay, so let's move all these bits out the way. Half of those went on the floor, but never mind. Okay, so now you can see it's starting to look like the base of a box and its lid. Okay, so this middle one here and this middle one here, we're going to be putting adhesive on those two, but we're not putting them on these ones. Okay, so keep those two out the way. Bring those two in, and I'm going to be using wet glue. You use the glue of your choice. I have used tear and tape as well, but although wet glue takes longer to dry, I find tear and tape takes longer to create the box because of all the cutting and the peeling and the what have you. And at least this way, if my corner isn't exactly right, I can move it because the glue is wet still. But that doesn't look too bad at all. Okay, so just to make sure that that glue is not going to be moving now, I'm just going to go in and just give it a little rub, just to make sure that's firmly adhered to the box base. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're just going to fold that one back for a second. So as you can see, it's starting to take shape. Now these two flaps, like I said, are not going to be glued. They're just going to go inside, and then that's going to go over, and then that creates that little gap in there for the flaps to go in. All right, but first of all, let's put some glue on those outer pieces, and you wouldn't want to put too much on there because we don't want the glue oozing out at the sides and stopping the box from actually fitting together. So I'm just going to do the minimum that I need that's actually going to stick. So bring the side up. I mean, it's going to be loose, you're going to have to hold it in place for a second, because that corner will try and come out again. Ask me how I know that. And then on this side as well. Once it's just about stuck down, I can give it a really good burnish, because what you're doing then is you're just making sure that glue gets to the card and actually goes into the card and stays. You don't want that popping open now, or for the side panels to slide out. Okay, so there we go. So now we've still got those side panels that are open here and here, as you can see, and also on here and here. You don't need to do this, I'm just showing this for effect. Okay, so now that should fit nicely. We'll forget this one just for a second. Let's pull this one back. That should now fit nicely inside. If it doesn't, you can just cut a tiniest wedge off. See, one side's gone in, one hasn't. So what you can do is, if you find it doesn't go in completely, just move this out of the way so you can see. Just cut the tiniest wedge off of there. You don't want to make it too loose. There we go, just a tiny little bit like that. And then it will go in nicely, okay? And it will stay. And now we're going to do the little thumbprint, the little thumb section there. So you can open it easily, about half of it, half the circle. Okay, now these ones here, I'm actually going to cut them down just a little bit, because these are the ones that go inside, and they just need to be nice and rounded and slightly smaller, so they fit in nice without popping back out again. And so to make them rounded, I'm using, looking for it, my corner round. I'm going to be using my Crocodile corner chomper, which I've had for a very long time. And you can use an ordinary corner rounder, you can use your scissors. The idea is just to cut that into an arc just there. And what I'm going to also do is just add a little bit of a wedge to there as well, just to make sure it definitely goes inside. Same on this side, and it's on the outer edge you'll be doing this. Like that, just take away that little tag just there, and also just do a little tiniest of wedges there. That's just to make sure it goes in smoothly, otherwise you might find it doesn't pop in as nicely. Okay, so now, moment of truth. There you go. And there you go. It'll take a little bit of encouragement, but there we are, all done. Okay, now the belly band will then hold that in place, as you can see. If I just put it, hold it in the middle, look, it's holding just nicely. Okay, right, let's make a bit of room here. and get rid of those bits of card. So for the insert, let's just open it up again for a second. For the insert, if I show you on this one, if you're using it to present a piece of jewellery, you would put the holes further apart, but because I wanted the chain fairly close together so that I could get this down the bottom, my holes are quite close together at the top. Alright, and to create that, I just use a small hole punch. Move that out of the way for a sec. So I'm using my 1/8 of an inch one, and we need to just fold these first and give that a really good old press down there, because we're going to be cutting some angles off of here in a second. And then this one. Okay, so fairly close to the centre, because I'm putting the bookmark in it. So they're fairly close together. Okay, let's move that out of the way. Now then, to make this fit nicely with that nice slant, I'm going to be using my smaller trimmer here just to help me out. So you just need to, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be cutting, let's just stand up so I can see, you can see this. So I'm going to be cutting, cutting from that corner there where that fold line is, all the way up to the outer bit there. So it's a diagonal down that panel there. Okay, so let's do that now. And on the other side do the same. So it's in at that bottom one, out to the outside of this one here, like that. The other way, and get rid of those two. Okay, so now you should have this effect. Alright, so now it's just a case of cutting the wedges at the corners to create the box effect at the top, so it stays upright. Okay, and also I want to cut up to that hole. That's so you can pop your, so you can actually put your chain into there. Okay, so let's get rid of those. So a bit of wet glue again. And just do your corner. A nice little squeeze, that'll hold it there. But I will use my bone folder to give it a little rub to make sure that stays as well. Okay, and then you lay it in your box and you've got this lovely, unusual presentation there for you to put your necklace or whatever you've put in there. Okay, so let's put the lid back down again now. And in there. So now we're going to do the belly band. Okay, so the belly band is this strip here. Okay, so what I've done, and I need to put the DSP on there as well. So what I've done is you just place it on the top, so it's about halfway like that. Alright, and then you just wrap it round, and then what you do is you just pinch where it wraps round, like so. And then that gives you a guide where to actually burnish the line. Okay, just make sure that the edges meet, that the edges aren't crooked like that. Make sure that they actually go straight like that. And the same on this one. And then that will go around nicely like that. Okay, so what I'm going to do first before I go any further is I'm going to bring over the designer paper, and I'm just going to pop that on. Again, you can use your tear and tape. You can actually, at this stage for this, you could even use your snail because it's paper, not card. So I know it's card underneath, but it's paper going onto card, so you can get away with that. I'm just going to stick with my wet glue because I can move it until it's perfect. Okay, and if you're not sure, you can always just go out and just give it a good old rub. Okay, put that together again. Oh, go in. That's it. Okay. That's it. And on this one, you just put it onto the centre of the panel there. Like so. Alright, and then what I'm going to do, actually going to use some tear and tape at this stage, because I don't want, because the wet glue will take time to dry, so I just want to make sure that this will stay straight away. Okay, because my nails are such a mess at the moment, I'll just use that to take that off. Okay, make sure that if you're going to use something that's got a pattern in it, make sure it's up the right way. Bring it round, and then you just put it together. Just make sure it matches, the edges match there as well. Not too tight, because you want to be able to take it off and on. Okay, so that's that bit. So we can actually take it off just temporarily. And then over to one side, I've got this pretty little butterfly all made up. So I've also got the, I don't know if you can see that, if the light's going to catch that, but I've got the Wink of Stella on there as well. So it's all nice and glittery. And I've got my circle already punched out, as I showed you. So what I'm going to do now is just a tiny little bit. I'm just going to make sure that the glue only goes down the back of the body. And then I'm going to pop it onto the circle roughly in the middle. And then I use the end of some tweezers just to hold it down, just to make sure those wings don't get stuck down like that. Okay, and then we just need a little bit of ink to do the little antenna, because the punch actually punches them off. So we'd need to, sorry, I'm just bashing my head on the camera here. So we're just going to put it up like that, and then just like that, so you can see the antenna as well. Move that out of the way. Okay, so let's just turn that over. And now, because it's going onto glimmer paper, we don't actually want to glue, because glue doesn't always hold. I found the best thing to use is glue dots or the dimensionals. Okay, so I'm going to use glue dots here because I want it to be flat. So I should put these on the back. Maybe I should put this on first, but I didn't want to do the stamping on top of the glimmer in case it didn't go properly. So I'm just going to put 5 of these dots on just to hold it on the glimmer, like that. Right there, that's lovely. And then I'm just going to get my fingers underneath the butterfly, because that's stuck now. Just make sure those glue dots hold. That's it, that's that. And then we can just use ordinary glue. Now what I'm going to do, because I want the butterfly to be at a bit of a cute angle, I'm going to hold the butterfly dead upright between my finger and thumb, turn it over, and actually put the glue on crooked, and then move my fingers around to dead up and down with the glue, and then I know that it'll go onto the belly band in the right angle then, without getting over the sides. And there we are. So we just need to pop that back on the box now, and there you have your cute little gift box. Okay, so these ones were all, although that's got the gift in that one, because there's this one and there's another one in one of the other boxes, which are actually gifts for some friends of mine. I'm going to a craft retreat at the weekend, which I'm really looking forward to, and that's up in Shropshire in the Midlands. So if I bring these, all the boxes I made earlier back, and let's put the darker ones this side. So there you go, there's your boxes. I've also got this one I made just so it's different. This is going to be her gift for a friend of mine. Her birthday's coming up, so there'll be a little something in there for her as well. So there we are, my lovely, lovely little almost self-closing gift boxes. And I hope you enjoyed watching this. I'd like to say a big thank you, because I've been away for 4 months. When I came back, I had so many extra subscribers. So thank you so much, all of you who have clicked subscribe. If you haven't and you've enjoyed what you've seen, please do hit the subscribe button. So like I said, have a look on my blog. You'll see the card I made. You'll see how all the centimetre measurements for these, and also you'll see the centimetre measurements for the next project I'll be doing, which will be in the next video. But in the meantime, have a fantastic day. If you need any of these supplies, do let me know. I've got a link to my to the Stampin' Up shop on my blog. You can go straight there. I would love to be a demonstrator. And if you do order from me and it's over £30, I'll send you a little gift as well. Okay, but in the meantime, have a fab day and I'll be back very soon. Bye for now.